Hi there, folks. Well, sorry I haven't had much toilet content lately. I've gotten busy with other projects, and I haven't bought any new toilets in a long time. So, I've got a few ideas that would be cool for some toilet tests, but I don't know if I'll get to them before winter, to be honest. So, sorry about that, but I do have an idea for the San Rafael. And so, this toilet's been here for 8 years now. I bought it in 2014 and I installed it in the summer of 14. And everybody in the house loves it. Everybody who uses it loves it. Um, it's even been a conversation piece at times. Kind of funny. Um, it's got the original tank parts in it. That's a Coast 1B1X fill valve. It's a special version for low boys. It has an auxiliary valve there. And all I've ever done to this, well, I did replace the flush valve when I first put this toilet in. And a couple of years ago, I took these 3 screws off and I put a new valve plunger in it because the valve was starting to leak. It wouldn't fully shut off, and that was like a $5 part at a hardware store. And so that's the one thing I like about these Coast valves is that there's nothing to them, and they're easy to fix. The thing I don't like about them is that they're noisy. Having owned low boys from the 70s with brass valves in them the way they used to be, the brass valves were so quiet. When you'd flush one of these things, you would hear nothing. It was awesome. And you'd hear nothing until the gulp at the end of the siphon. But this thing, well, you'll hear it. This thing is loud. It ruins it for me, but it's still a low boy. It's still cool. And I put an actual half-inch toilet supply line in. That's a half-inch stop valve and a half-inch supply line, which is what you're supposed to have with these low boy toilets. It will flush fine. Well, the flush will be fine and the tank will fill fine on a 3/8 supply line, which is what I had originally. But the bowl rinse is a little lacking with that setup, and so flushes just the way it's supposed to now. And so it's been a great toilet for the last 8 years. Never had any complaints about it. It does its job just fine. It doesn't complain. It's got the original Kohler French curve seat on it. And this is like a heavy duty, I mean, this thing is quality. It's like thick plastic that's like an inch thick. I mean, you don't see this kind of stuff anymore. And you can tell, I mean, this was a high, I mean, people have varying opinions about low boys, and I get that, but it's like this was a high-end, high-quality piece of plumbing when it was new, regardless. And it's a nice, comfortable seat. I mean, this is like sitting on a Cadillac compared to the Briggs Abingdon that it replaced, and so we love it. But I have an interesting test that I want to do with this toilet. And I've noticed that because this toilet flushes so gently, if you will, most toilets, when you flush, you know, you might see or you might feel, if you're sitting on it, some spray coming up or aerosol coming out of the bowl, and that's typical. But there's really there's really a minimum, or if anything, coming from these toilets. And so I got a couple tests that I thought of to see if we can see if this toilet makes much, if any, aerosol. And it would be interesting to see if you guys care to test your own toilets, maybe some conventional toilets, to see what they're like in comparison. So let me reposition the camera and we'll do a couple of tests. Okay, a first test that I thought I could try is just a basic lay toilet. I think I did this test once on this toilet a long time ago. Just lay some toilet paper over the seat and see if you see anything. See if it gets wet. Well, probably would be better to just lay it over the bowl. I've got a better test than this, but we'll do this just because. Okay. So I'm looking for wet spots on the paper, and I really don't see any. So that's kind of what I figured. It's what happened last time I did this. So get rid of that. And we'll flush that down. You probably can't tell in the video, but this toilet actually flushes so quiet that you can hear the sound of the water actually running through the trapway of the toilet. It's pretty cool. And you can hear it when the toilet starts to siphon. And that's pretty cool. Okay. Let me set up another test. Okay. There we go. Now this is a little humorous. No, this is not the saran wrap the toilet seat prank. But this will be interesting. I did this test once on my 1.6 Kohler Kingston back when I had one. So I've saran wrapped the bowl. It took 2 pieces, and then I kind of pressed this as tight as it'll go. If this toilet throws up any water, we should see it on the plastic, but I want you to notice something else that will be kind of cool to watch, is that when I flush this toilet, the flush actually pumps air. It rises air out of the bowl. So you'll see this kind of bubble up, and then when the toilet siphons, it'll suck it back down. It's going to be pretty cool. I don't know the best angle to watch that. I don't know. We'll try this angle. So it went up. I think that actually hampered the flush just a little bit because it couldn't suck air down like it normally does. But that's kind of a cool test. So, well, we've got a little bit of water. Most of these drops are real small. There's a little bit there. That's nothing. There's another one there, and then most of these are real minuscule. Mostly in the back part of the bowl, not much in the front, so it is what it is. But knowing that these toilets flush pretty gently, I'd be curious to see this test done with some conventional toilets. If I get around to it, maybe I'll try it with my Toto Drake upstairs and see if there's a difference. But I mean, for the most part, it doesn't make much aerosol. It's pretty minimal. I mean, you could flush this thing sitting down if you wanted to, and nothing would probably happen. But it's just kind of cool. It's neat to watch the air come up and then suck back down too, because that's kind of cool. But anyway, I will call that a video and end with one more flush, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll try and see if I can get a few toilet tests done before winter, but no guarantees.